So today we are at Sauta Cave, National Wildlife Refuge. It is located just about 7 miles outside of Scottsboro, Alabama. There's 264 acres here that is owned by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. There is a cave here that has about 400,000 bats that live in it that fly out every night during the summer. So that's what we're here doing, is checking that out. So come along with us as we show you this cave and enjoy this bat flight here in Alabama. So we're going to walk over here and check out this entrance, and then we're going to walk up and look at the upper entrance before we come back down here and watch the bat flight that's going to come out of here at dusk. Now, it has been documented that Cherokee Indians used this cave to mine saltpeter as early as 1784. It was then used off and on from the War of 1812 through the Civil War and even World War I for mining saltpeter. If you don't know what saltpeter is, it's basically they used bat guano to extract it and then make ammunitions out of it. So in the early 20th century, there was the person who owned it during that time actually built a store here. It was a fishing store during the day because the lake is nearby, and then at night it served as a nightclub. And then they had a dance floor in there as well. So that operated from 1919 to 1956. Then in 1962, it was designated as a fallout shelter before it was eventually purchased in 1978 by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service bought this property to protect the federally endangered bats that live here, and those are the gray and Indiana bats. And again, there's about 400,000 of them that live in this cave that fly out every night during the summer. So it's a great thing to do and come experience. We'll come back down to this when it starts getting a little darker, but we're going to go and I'm going to show you the upper entrance. There's two entrances to this cave. They are both gated. You cannot go into this cave because of the bats. It is protected. They don't allow any visitation unless you work directly with bats and are in there for scientific purposes. So we're going to go back this way and walk up this road a little bit more, and I'm going to show you guys the second entrance. We definitely put on our bug spray today. Something else that is also on this property is the endangered Price's potato bean. Now that is a plant. This place is free to visit. However, most of the time people visit here is during the summer months, June through August, when the bats are flying out of that entrance. So we've just made it up here to the upper entrance to Sauta Cave, aka Blowing Wind Cave, which is what it was originally called until 1999 when the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service changed the name. So the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service used to allow visitation to this cave, but that was before white nose syndrome affected the bats in this area. Now, for the most part, white nose syndrome has not affected gray bats or Indiana bats, but it is still closed for their protection because they are federally endangered. So the way this gate works and other cave gates is there's usually a bar that can be removed, and it's this one. So there's a lock under there, and they can unlock this, and it allows this piece of bar to come out, so then they can go inside of the cave. Do you feel the air sucking behind us? So this cave, because it's higher than the entrance below, it's sucking in all of this warm air. So we can literally feel this warm air just blowing right past us going into this cave. And it's coming out the lower entrance down at the bottom. And by the time it makes its way through this cave and comes out the lower entrance, it becomes cave temperature air, and it'll be about 58 degrees blowing out. So this gate, here's who built it. ACCA-404. So maybe this was gated in 2004 is probably when this gate here was built. So this is what's called a bat-friendly gate. Excuse me, a bat-friendly gate. So the bats actually fly out of this section here. They don't always fly out through the bars. So this is what makes it a bat-friendly gate, because they have this big space in here to fly out of. Now we're going to go down to the lower entrance and wait for the bats to give us a show. They're all going to fly out of this cave, and it's quite the experience. A lot of your senses are engaged, because not only can you hear them, you can smell them, you can also feel the heat wave as they're flying out of the cave. So it's really cool experience. So we are walking back down here to the main entrance where the bat flight is, and the air is blowing out of the cave, and as it's blowing out of the cave, you can also smell all of the bat guano from all of the bats that are living inside of there. So now we're going to just go over here to the entrance, and we're just going to wait on the bats to show up at dusk. What'll happen is a few bats will start coming out at first, and they're kind of like little scouts, making sure everything's okay. You can already feel all of the cool air blowing out of the cave. This is natural air condition at its best. So if you decide to visit Sauta Cave, it is recommended that you bring either a light raincoat or something to cover your head to keep you protected from the pee and the poop that's going to be coming out of the bats as they're flying out of the cave, because they're waking up from sleeping all day. They're going to be flying out up here above this gate, and they're going to be flying all around this entrance where we're standing. So just bring something to protect yourself. Don't bring an umbrella. Bring a lightweight raincoat, and then also bring a headlamp. So we're just waiting on the bats to show up. So the bats are starting to come out of the cave. The scouts are starting to fly out. You can see them up there. Here shortly, more and more bats will start to come out of the cave. So there you have it, Sauta Cave, National Wildlife Refuge. We came and watched the bats fly out tonight in the hundreds of thousands. What a wonderful thing to come do during the summer months here in Alabama. If you like my content, which is outdoor recreation here in the heart of TAG, which is short for Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, make sure you like and subscribe for more. Thanks for joining us.